start it off.
Yeah, I see us.
Looks like we are live and direct.
Woohoo! Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to Leads Over Lunch. Hey, Ryan, how you doing?
Hey, Ty, Electra, how's everybody doing this afternoon?
I'm excited. I'm excited because we have one of my favorite people right now. Electra Davis is here with us. And Electra, you look shocked, but I'll tell you why you're one of my favorite people. Because every time I see you, you are exuding this pure joy. And you are just you are authentically yourself, whether you're with your daughter. Right. I send you pictures with her doing things at school, whether you with your boo or your date nights, which I am like loving like so much. Like I'm living vicariously through your date nights right now. Right. But you just exude your authenticity. And I love that. So I'm really, really excited that you are here today. But before we jump into that, because I know everybody's like, Electra's here. Yes. But let me just give you a little bit of the groundwork about why we're doing what we're doing. So I am Ty Goodwin, and my partner in profit is Ryan McCrary. And we're the host of Leads Over Lunch and host of the Facebook group List Building and Lead Generation. And we wanted to have conversations with other entrepreneurs who are building their businesses just like we are, just like you are, and have some real, raw, unscripted conversation about what it really takes to generate leads for your business. If you don't have leads, you do not have a business. If you don't have an audience to sell to, you have no business. And more importantly, if you don't have the right leads coming into your business, you're not going to get paid. Okay. And so we wanted to have some real conversations about that. So thanks you for joining us. If you're watching this live, chime in the comments, say hello, let us know you're here. If you're watching this during a replay, just use hashtag replay to let us know. Drop your questions. We will answer them. If we don't answer it live here, we'll answer them in the comments. And listen, if you know somebody in this group who is not showing up for this live, tag them and let them know that this is going on and they want to be part of this conversation. If they're not in the group, invite them. Now, don't spam them, but do invite them to this group. Okay. I don't want any complaints, right? Why am I in this group? Just invite them to this group lovingly so that they can partake of all of this goodness that happens in this group on a consistent basis. We have been loving the comments. We have been loving the questions, the shares. You all have been showing up in this group, and it just makes it better for everyone. So thank you, thank you, thank you for that. So Ryan, I want to ask you to start off our conversation with Electra. We're talking about Electra Davis, and we're going to let her introduce herself because I'm sure she's got that whole package. She's going to bring the authenticity. But here's what I want to ask you today. Mm-hmm. When it comes to generating leads for a business, whether it's an e-commerce brand, a consulting brand, or a small business, you know, what is one thing that you see people not do that they should be doing?
I may have said this last week, and I'm going to say it again because the first thing that comes to my mind, not consistently spending money on ads. So, you know, I know Electra will have a deep conversation about that. And I know she's been doing a lot of stuff that's necessarily not even that, just getting out there, getting in front of people, getting their products actually on customers live and direct. But that's the first thing that comes to mind with me is just not consistently spending money on ads and spending a significant amount of money on ads, not just $10, $15 a day.
So that ad spend is it. And we're going to talk about that one in a little bit because we're going to talk about some more tips. But I wanted to drop that nugget in early, right? For those folks who are like, I need a tip. Listen, we're giving you tips all throughout this conversation, but that's one thing. And you're going to hear us talk about it. And I know some people are like, I don't want to spend money on ads. Well, I'm going to say this is not for you. Because if you're building a real business, you're going to have to drop some cash to get new people. A lot of you are like, I don't want to spend any money, but then you're crying because the only people that are liking your stuff are the same 20 people that have been liking your stuff since day one. And they're not people that are buying from you. And you're like, Facebook sucks. No, it doesn't suck. You don't have an ad strategy to get new people to generate real leads into your business. Right. But that's not Electra's problem. So Electra, let's talk about you because your brand is blowing up. So give us the intro, talk about what you do, your business, give us the goods.
Okay. Well, again, my name is Electra Davis. I am the owner of Mysteek Naturals. I actually specialize in creating temporary, harsh chemical-free hair coloring. And I also make activated charcoal toothpaste that is also chemical free. I started my business in 2016, launched it about 2017, became an LLC 2018. 2019 is when I really was able to see what my business can do. And here we are in 2020 with this 2020 vision, trying to take off and see where this vision actually can take me. So yeah, my family helped me. And I just think that it's been a great journey, literally building this business from an idea all the way up to it sustaining my family.
Love it. And, I give you a lot of kudos because there are a lot of people that dream about starting a brand or starting a beauty brand, right? And they dream about it. And they dream about it.
And they still dream about it.
But you actually did it. And you recently just made a big leap, right?
Yeah, actually I did. So transitioning off of my job has been very hard, a little scary. But I think I'm gonna be able to do it. And I feel like the business is gonna be very, very profitable in this transition.
That's big news. She all on a humble yes.
Right.
Transition. That's big. That is huge. And it is, and you're right, it is scary. Right? Because all of a sudden, I launched while working. That was one of my first brands, and people, know that, right? And it's a big difference when you've got that paycheck coming in every week, and you can use that to fund your business.
Oh yeah.
To you having to fund it all by yourself.
Oh yeah, because I mean, like I tell people so much, like my thing is I tell them my life used to be I just go to Walmart, I go grocery shopping, I come home. Now it's like I have to go to the forest, I gotta find Bambi, I gotta skin Bambi, I gotta learn how to cook it, and then I can eat it. So if I don't work on this job, I don't get paid, I don't eat. So it's a lot different. It's like, oh, if I don't make my mark in the business this week, in 2 weeks, I'll have a paycheck. Now it's like, if I don't make it this week, that's a week gone. And I need to figure out how to double it next week,
Absolutely. And some folks don't get that, and because it's so easy when you've got those other funding sources coming in. But here's one of the things that I will say, it does push you. Right? It does push you. If you thought you were having a problem getting on the phone to make sales calls, you're going to get on the phone to make some sales calls now, right? You're going to show up. You're going to do all those things because there's more at stake.
Oh yes. I mean, I'm not traditionally, I guess, a people person, and I'm like, I'm not really good at that. I don't really like that. Now I'm like, hey, hello, and a bit of wholesale. So yeah, I know exactly when you say it pushes you, because like I said, if you don't push yourself, you don't eat, so yeah, that's definitely where I am. And even in that, I'm still excited because it's still fairly new. But now, my job told me what I was worth. Now I'm telling myself what I'm worth.
I love that. And that, because that was one of my big pushes too, was I hated being in a job where they told me literally what I could do. And if I had ideas around something else that they didn't want me to do, I couldn't do it. But they also told me how much I could work, how much I could earn, and when I could go on vacation, and if I could go on vacation.
Even if you have all those flexibilities, you still cap out. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing more you can do. You can work there 20 years and love the job, love the supervisor, but at the end of the day, speaking from the government, lingo, if you're a GS-11, you're a GS-11 10 years ago and today, so yeah. That, your money should change with you and time and what you earn, especially experience, and things like that. When you have more to offer, you just
absolutely
pretty much capped out.
I've got family members that work for the government, and one of their complaints has been, first of all, they had a hiring freeze, so they haven't hired people. They also haven't had a really good raise every year. They get that little 2 or 3%, and so government jobs, corporate jobs, they all face that same thing. So let's talk about your product for a little bit, because you make these amazing colors that people can put on their hair, and it's harsh chemical free. I'm using your language because I know there are people say, well, it's not really chemical free. No, harsh chemical free. It's not going to strip your hair. It's not going to make you bald. You know?
Yeah.
But the colors are amazing. So how did you come up with that idea? Like, where did that come from?
Well, long story boring, I ended up bald because I was, chemically dyeing my hair. So basically I dyed my hair this auburn color. And it was gorgeous. It lasted, of course, a while. And then my hair started to come out, and I just realized that no matter if it's relaxed, because that's another reason why I left being relaxed and returned natural. And that, basically my hair just doesn't do well with the harsh chemicals. So I cut my hair again, vowed never to do it, to dye my hair again. But we all know as women, that's a lie. So I started, to have that itch, like I need to express myself, So I started using like lipstick. I was using like eyeshadow. I was, just anything. Like, oh, I got the purple, So finally I came up with a great recipe. And I started changing my hair every week, every day. Other people were like, oh, it's not really healthy for you to change your hair color like that. And I'm like, word. Because this is temporary. And they were like, oh my gosh, make me some. And I'm like, sure. I'm making them stuff. And then, word of mouth started to spread. And I'm like, okay, run me my money. And because it's good. And then, it just kind of like took off from there. Yeah.
Okay. So now that first group of clients or customers that you were getting is kind of like word of mouth. Like they see your sassy style, they see you being all fly, like I want what she got, right? Mm-hmm. So how did you take that online to start generating more clients there?
So what I did was I had those people that did, either me send it to them or they bought it, start doing pictures, shouting me out. And then I started to ask for models, and things like that for them to try it out, do pictures and all that kind of stuff to get more leads. So I was actually getting their audiences not really even knowing what I'm doing, but I just somehow know to do that. Yeah, that's how pretty much it spread, is their friends saw their friend using this thing, and then now their friends want it. And now when they do an unboxing, they're showing their friends, and that's pretty much how it took off that way.
Fantastic. So, but there used to be a commercial back in the old days, and I might be dating myself, like, and she told two friends, and she told two friends, and she told two friends, right? And it goes on and on and on, right? And so that's what we're seeing. So now that works, right? That's word of mouth, that's referrals, and that's one of the best ways to get new traffic for your business, because we trust people that we like. Mm-hmm. When my friend tells me about using this store, or if Ryan gives me an affiliate link to something, I'm gonna do it, right? Because I trust Ryan. Right. And so that's one of the great things. But now we got to think about how can we expand what we're doing with you. And so one of the things that we're doing for you is we're building a quiz.
Yes.
And I'm excited about because one of the things we take a look at with the quiz is we take a look at the different people in your audiences. And so do you want to talk a little bit about that? Because you've got different avatars that you've got to reach, because it's not just, like the person that just likes to color their hair all the time. There's some real specific needs that people have that or problems that people have that your product solves. So you want to talk a little bit about that?
Oh, well, like you said, it's a plethora of them. So we appeal to the cancer survivor, the military woman who has a life 2 days a week, the children who parents kind of be tripping, but this is okay because you can wash it out, or the children who have like the low self-esteem, like a couple of my customers have shared with me, where they put the color in their hair, other kids start talking to them, and that built up, their self-esteem and them talking in front of the class. We also deal with the woman who's eccentric, like me, that, I can have red in my hair, but still want another color. But I love red primarily, but I want to change it, temporarily. So you have that woman. You have the men who either A, have gray, you know, and want black, or B, they have black and want to be gray. That's one. I have
But you do have men's products.
Huh?
You do have men's products.
It's unisex, sir. We all have hair. We all have hair. You know?
I might need some of that to turn some of my gray to black.
I'm just saying, you know.
It
So
was
yeah,
gray.
in his head, he had of them or something like that. But yeah, so we have that, and then you have the men who are eccentric themselves and just want a blue beard, you know, a green beard for St. Patty's Day or something like that. Yeah. You know, they have that, or and they color their hair too. They color their locks, you know, because majority of the men have locks. I haven't had too many with a short fade coloring their hair. Like they don't want to do, you know, a Cisco thing, you know, the platinum hair, but I got you if you do, you know what I'm saying? But so yeah, there's several different type of people, and you know, you have to have a specific avatar from an age to an age, but really mine's is kind of ageless, because I believe my oldest customer was 69 and she had platinum white hair and she wanted a blue streak, and I was like, okay, get it then.
Right.
No thing, you know. So yeah, you know, and then you have the women who are in their 30s and they just want to cover their gray in the front, you know. So it's not really, you know, it's just versatile, you know, and you know, you don't have to worry about any harsh chemicals or anything like that. You can be a chameleon. That's why I named it Mysteek Naturals. You have that mystique about you. You can change when you want to be, who you want, when you want, for how long you want to be, you know.
Well, I love that. I always say hair is an accessory, right? Which is why we can wear different wigs. Because that's why I started. One of the reasons why I started wearing wigs. I love different colors, but I don't want to put the chemicals in my hair. I like straight hair, but I don't want to put a perm in my hair. So, you know, I want the option to have that, you know, variety, right? One of the other groups that we talk about with you is performers, people who are on stage, who are, you know, dancers or, you know, videos or any type of person that's trying to stand out at an event, right?
Yeah, and you also have those people who are in sororities, you know what I'm saying, fraternities, you know, and they want to do, you know, for the Zetas, the blue, the Deltas, the red, you know, AKA the green and the pink, you know, so you have those people, you know, or you have the athletics, you know, students, you know, who want to represent their school, you know, their school colors, you know, in their locks as they're running and flying, the wind going through their hair, you know. But yeah, so it's just, it's a rock star in a jar.
Oh, I love that. Are you going to use that as a tagline? You should totally do that.
Girl, I do be using it.
I love it. Rock star in a jar. That's fantastic. So, you know, one of the things, you know, when I think about lead generation for you is, you know, you mentioned like the shy kids, right? The little, you know, the quiet kids. And I'm wondering if you ever have any parent stories, like parents that are telling those stories about how the hair color has helped their kid come out of their shell or help their kid connect more, you know, but that would be an instant way to generate leads with those little video stories, and it can go kind of go viral, right? Because people love those stories and it gives us the feels and the emotions and it highlights your product.
Yeah, I actually do have a story of that, and that's how I learned what the product it does and how intimate it is. Because, you know, my brand is really about intimacy. You know what I'm saying? I'm very responsive to the customers. You know, I laugh, I joke with them. If they tag us, we always respond. You know, we always show appreciation. And this person inboxed us the video and inboxed us the you know, the explanation behind it, you know, and she was up in front of the class reading, you know, to her classroom, her peers, because she had more confidence, her mom said, and her mom was thanking me. It was really dope.
I love it. Love it. Love it. Absolutely. So Ryan, do you have any tips or questions for Electra?
I guess, you know, one of the questions I had is, I guess, you know, you're going to do the quiz, which is great, but what also has been your biggest, I guess, lead generation that you see generates the most leads for you?
Honestly, I guess I'm trying to understand. You mean what platform or
Any of all of the above?
okay. I think what generates the most like leads for me are videos and pictures posted on Instagram. And when I do Facebook ads. They generate a lot
I
of
thought Facebook ads don't work.
it's just you have the right person, you know what I'm saying, or a right team that knows how to actually target, or if you don't know the information to even help the person that's doing it or help yourself, then you probably just the same person that was like me posting and clicking that boost button, and not getting anywhere. I lost so much money with that little boost button. I'm so mad. I'm like, I'm not getting anything. I just spent $200. And I've had friends that's like, oh, I only put $15 a day and I generate 100. And I'm like, nope, not me though. It's because they were learning how to actually target. So it works. You just, like anything else, you have to know, what you're doing. A lot of people say, I don't like kids, they're broken. I'm like, it's user error, man. You gotta you know what you're doing with the child. You gotta target it,
Right, that's great. Now I see some people in the chat. So guys, if you just tuned in, we're doing leads over lunch with Electra Davis, founder and CEO of Mysteek Naturals. See Milton on, how you doing? Few other people coming on. Judith, how you doing? Please drop your questions down there if you got any questions for Electra. Having a great discussion today. I guess another question I have, and it seems like once you get the leads, your conversion is very well because, people that come in, they just love your products. Yeah. So I guess, one of the other questions is for getting leads, what is your take on giving out samples or giving out free stuff? Because, I see some people say, well, I don't want to give my products for free. I don't want to give samples. I don't want to do this. I don't want to give a lead magnet. How has that worked as far as getting leads, like giving free samples or just something, some type of gift?
Good. People like free, and if you feel like you giving out something small or something for free is going to be your end all be all, then you need to revisit your business model. Because you should be able to give out something and it be a breadcrumb for the big meal, they're following it to what your big ticket item, is, what I'm saying? Or medium ticket, whichever. But you should be able to do that, to where, you can sacrifice some to get more. And it's kind of like, what Facebook ads, you spend $15,000 and, generate, somewhere between 50, that's pretty good. You can't look at exactly what you're putting out. You have to look at what the cost to acquire that customer is, so we send out samples so that, if you bought Auburn, I'll probably send you a little sample of some purple. And you just have to calculate that into your, your inventory, for product-based businesses, and chuck it as you mostly you can gain, your samples to me is your yes or no.
Right.
And you can't lose out what something you didn't already have, but you can gain something you didn't plan to gain.
Right.
So for me, I think samples are very important. Because it's upselling without being digital.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I was going to say, spoken like a true entrepreneur.
Thank you, Dr.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's really, there's a direct response. Of course, like you're getting a simple yes or a simple no. So, of course, we all talk about direct response. It also comes back to something I did a video in the group yesterday about actually knowing who you are targeting. So if you're giving a sample to someone who is your customer avatar, you think might be your customer avatar, more than likely they are going to say yes and buy more from you as opposed to just giving samples to people that aren't even in your customer avatar. Then that's how you start losing money and losing product and stuff like that. So that was great.
I think another thing about samples is you can't always think about especially if that person, your avatar, you can't think about if they're going to buy more or not, because 9 times out of 10, if they've already bought and they don't want to buy more, they can use that sample to give it to somebody else they know. You know, so you got to think about the front and the back end of it.
Yeah, I love it. So listen, if you're watching this, we are breaking it down. Like, we're in here talking about cost of marketing, right? That's the term for it. How much does it cost you to do your marketing? And you're right, Electra, it goes back to those same folks who are like, I don't want to spend on Facebook ads. It's an investment. It's not spend like, you're going on a shopping spree. You're investing so that you get the people that you want and that you get the sales that you want. And if you're really not prepared to do that for your business, whether it's samples or a Facebook ad, you should probably get out of business.
Right.
That's not how it works, people.
Yeah, definitely.
So, I want to wrap up. We're almost at our 30-minute mark here. But Electra, I want to, wrap up by asking you. So for folks who want to make the leap like you did, for folks who are building a product-based business like you are, what are 2 pieces of advice that you would give to people who want to be like you, Electra?
I think the first advice that I would give to anybody who wants to start their business is to, tag into one of their fears. And that's the fear of something that has been placed in their heart to do, but they feel it's a saturated market. And I want to tell them to run their race, because nobody's going to do it like you, and nobody's going to have your sauce, and that there's nothing new under the sun. So if it's for you, then do it. If it's in your heart, then do it. It's nothing worse than spending 50 years later working for other people and then wondering, had you tried, would you have succeeded? And the next piece of advice I would say is throw out the narrative that failure is not an option. Failure is an option. It is the only option. It is the prerequisite to success.
Love that. Say that again.
Right.
I'm a share like hold on. Failure is an option. It is the only option. It is the prerequisite to success. The only thing that is not an option is stopping or quitting, because then you can't learn from those steps that you took. You got to think about yourself as a child. When you were a child, you didn't have the fears you have now as an adult. When you wanted to walk, you stood up, you took those steps, and you failed. Every time you walk is a calculated fail. It's a calculated fall. You just learn how to catch yourself through those falls. So just keep walking.
Yeah. Or else you be sitting on the floor for a really long time.
Trying to ask somebody to come pick you up, try with your big self. I cannot.
Yeah, well, thank you so much, Electra. I have enjoyed this conversation. I can't wait for us to, do all the work to get the quiz up and out there for you and start generating some more people, getting them into your space, showing them your fantastic, amazing products. You know what? Hey, and if you're in the group, Electra, drop some pictures of your product in the group so people can see, the beauty and the brilliance of the colors that you help people create. And because you also do some mixing of colors too, right?
So yes, that's gonna be really fun. I mean, we're putting a campaign together of like a color mix competition.
Oh, that's gonna be good.
So, yeah, it's gonna be really fun, especially for spring, doing those pastel colors. So that'll be really dope.
Well, fantastic. Well, listen, everybody, thanks for hanging out with us today. We will be back next week with another conversation, another Leads Over Lunch conversation. Put your questions in the comments that you want us to answer. We're glad to do that for you. Ryan, you got any closing words that you want to wrap up with?
Closing words is just go out there and make it happen. Failure is the only option to success. So go out there, spend some money, get some leads. And when you get the leads, make sure you convert them so you can make more money, grow your revenue, and drive your business to the next level.
I love it, love it, love it. Thanks everybody for watching this. If you're watching this during a replay, use #replay, tag somebody, all that good stuff. And until next time, you already know, be brilliant, be bankable, and be the boss in your business. Bye, everybody.